Mr. Wilson, you appear to have soiled yourself while unconscious.
I wasn't unconscious. Who are you? Why am I here?
Walk with me.
Before we talk about what we're seeing on the screen, I want to ask you one thing about what we're not going to see. Kevin has said that Ryan pitched you guys over 25 ideas initially. I imagine there had to be some good ones in there. Can you share a couple of the rejected ideas?
Well, I'm scared to even pitch the rejected ideas because who knows, maybe there's more Deadpool in the future and maybe some of them find their way into future films. Many of those pitches predated even me. There were several years since Deadpool 2 where Ryan pitched some stuff to Kevin and nothing felt quite right. What I will say, by way of not answering you, I apologize, is that it's deceptively hard. I'm sure you've heard this, but Ryan and I, along with our fellow writers, we spent months trying to come up with a story that was authentic to Deadpool DNA and deserving of the MCU. That's a tough bullseye. It's a very tiny overlap where you want it real world and grounded, but worthy of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I will say that it was harder to crack than I would have ever expected. And we were gonna give up because nothing felt inarguably awesome until Hugh Jackman called out of the blue. And as soon as we knew it was Wolverine with Deadpool, the movie had its reason to exist.
Wow, you guys literally almost threw in the towel.
We literally had a Zoom scheduled with Kevin that day in August 2022. And we had talked, Ryan and I, that we were going to say, Kevin, we really want to make a Deadpool movie, but it's not happening right now. Maybe we come back to it in a year or two. That was on the books, that Zoom. And before that, Hugh called.
It's insane, and how things work. It's wild.
It does. It's why we feel like there's something resembling destiny to this movie.
Yeah.
Three buddies in real life who've been friends for so long, and it all somehow aligns in this moment.
I love it. Obviously, so much excitement around the fact that it's Marvel's first R-rated superhero movie. I mean, how liberating is that for you as a filmmaker when sort of like the chains are taking off in that regard?
It was absolute liberty. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's also my first R-rated movie. I started off as the director of Cheaper by the Dozen and Night at the Museum. So this was a ride, and I have been corrupted. I mean, I will tell you, the writing sessions where I was sitting for months with Ryan and we'd write scenes, and he would use words and terminology that I didn't even understand. And he literally would send me to Google, and I don't even want to see my search history, bro. Like, the things I learned, starting with pegging and going all the way through a lot of things I didn't know. So Ryan is gleeful that he has corrupted this good Canadian boy, Shawn Levy.
Side control, then full mount, and you ground and pound till he makes no sound because he's dead. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God.
Was there anything in the script that, like, ultimately you deemed went too far, or even that you guys shot but didn't make the cut because it even transcended an R rating?
Yeah, that's a good. It was. I mean, literally the only ground rule they ever gave us was maybe no cocaine.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupted?
Even forest bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes.
And we promptly wrote the first joke we wrote, which was Wade telling the audience and Blind Al that Feige had banned cocaine from the movie. So that's a good example of how even when you set a rule, we're gonna make fun of the rule. But other than that, it was such incredible creative freedom. And I think they knew that this couldn't be a true and awesome Deadpool movie unless no one, frankly, was restricting us. And ultimately, there was one joke out of a 2-hour and 5-minute movie where we got a request to tone it down. And we ultimately changed the joke for something that's still pretty dirty.